Hello everyone, welcome back to Gnippets. My name is Germ. Today I wanted to talk about love. I've been reading all sorts of nonfiction stuff, specifically Bell Hooks. I read 2 of her books. I read All About Love and I read The Will to Change. And these books together, I think, frankly, are life-changing. She doesn't necessarily say anything too mind-breaking or mind-bending, but she kind of very passionately and unvenomously, I would say, describes kind of her ideology and what people should do or how they carry themselves. But that's kind of not important. What is important is that one of the things she talks about is, I don't know if she phrases it exactly as loving conditionally, but I've been trying to love unconditionally. It's something that I've attempted multiple times before. It's something I've failed a lot at, and it's because when I'm nice to people, it's not that I'm like, kissing people or standing outside their window with a speaker or whatever. I'm just trying to be nice to people. I'm trying to be compassionate. I'm trying to be understanding. I'm trying to be patient. And I've tried many, many times before, and this is the furthest I've gotten. This attempt is the furthest I've gotten. And the main difference is in that all the other attempts that I've done, one thing that is always kind of unexpected is that when you try to do something, or at least for me, and maybe presumably other people, when you try to do something and the outcome is not what you expected, it's very frustrating. So when I try to be nice to people, when I try to be kind and compassionate, and I don't get the response that I want, I get very, or I should say I used to get very angry. I used to get very frustrated, or I used to get very upset, where it's like, I'm being nice to you. You should kind of be nice back, or you should do the thing that I wanted you to do. And it's a multifaceted problem because you shouldn't be nice to people under the pretense that they'll be nice back to you. It's a nice fail-safe or fallback plan, right? Treat others how you want to be treated. But you should be nice because you want to be nice, not because you have to be or because you want them to be nice to you. You should be kind and compassionate because you want to be, because it's just how you operate. And the second thing is, and this is definitely something I'm guilty of, I shouldn't try to predict the outcomes of people or compartmentalize people in such a way that we think we understand them. While I do think there are many kind of repeat people or repeat personalities, there are many people who are essentially identical to each other, doppelgangers, if you will. Even with that being the case, there are billions of people on this planet. The odds that you are able to predict accurately what they want to do or how they're going to act or how they're going to talk or how they're going to react to something is a fool's errand. You can try. I've certainly tried. I've gotten pretty okay at it, but I will say it's survivor bias, at least for me, where, well, it's a weird back and forth because I was always very attracted to people who would do things I didn't expect, right? But I also just never interacted with anybody. So anytime I would interact with anybody new, they would do something that I wouldn't expect, and then I would be very kind of drawn to that person, right? Of course, there are times where people do exactly what I expect them to do, in which case, I get kind of bored of them or whatever. But I shouldn't do that. I used to be very cynical. I used to think that people weren't cool. I used to think that they were lame and that I was better than them. I came to this conclusion by eavesdropping on conversations, by just listening to people in class or at lunch, at school, or in public, at Starbucks, just eavesdropping. I'd be like, man, these people are such losers. The thing is, nobody can be cool if you don't give them the opportunity to be cool. So when I'm listening to these lame conversations, I'm sitting there listening to a conversation about a topic I don't care about or I think is ridiculous, and then I'm judging the people for partaking in the conversation, and I'm making wild assumptions about who they are as people. And it's like, well, you can't do that. If it was a topic that you brought up or that we brought up to that person, that's a different conversation. But yeah, I'm rambling, but I'm doing good. I'm doing well. For the first time in forever, I'm somewhat successfully loving unconditionally. I'm living my life for me for the first time in a while, and I don't feel bad about it.